In the same vein, the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has delivered essential relief items to provide immediate succor to those displaced by the disaster in Mokwa. This was disclosed by the Director General of NEMA, Mrs. Zubaida Umar. The relief intervention, according to Umar, is part of a swift and comprehensive response by NEMA to the unprecedented flood, which has tragically claimed over 100 lives, damaged homes, and affected livelihoods. Umar noted that based on an on-site assessment conducted on Friday by the NEMA team led by her, no fewer than 100 bodies have so far been recovered as search and rescue operations continue. The Permanent Secretary of the Niger State Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management, Barrister Mairo Mohammed Mann, joins me from Niger to look at the damages caused by the flood and what the state government is doing to address the challenges caused by the flood. Welcome, ma'am, to the news.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Now, looking at the tragic scale of this disaster, can you provide a detailed account of what immediate actions NEMA has taken since the floods began, and also the challenges that you have faced in deploying aid effectively?
Thank you very much. Well, as we all saw on the national television, NEMA came on hand. The response was apt. And in conjunction with NEMA, also the Niger State government, ably led by the Deputy Governor, His Excellency Comrade Farmer Yakubu Garba, and the Commissioner for Humanitarian Affairs, Environment, and some major stakeholders in Niger State went there to see for themselves and to do a first-hand, assessment. And we must say that yes, the damage was quite devastating. It has never happened in the history of Niger State, and it has shocked everybody. But NEMA was there at hand to provide some basics at that moment and promised to do more. And Niger State itself, the Humanitarian Ministry, through the able leadership of His Excellency, will definitely also contribute their own bit. But as it is now, the Niger State government has also sent trucks of food items and some of these materials at the moment, particularly food, and more will be sent. In fact, as I speak to you by Monday, again, the First Lady of the state will also be visiting the place. So we are aware that the damage is enormous. Like as at now, about 151 bodies have been discovered. And still ongoing.
Oh, okay. Now, you did say that, this has never happened in the history of Niger. And we also understand that bodies were found nearly 10 kilometers from Mokwa. Now, does this suggest a failure in early warning systems or evacuation planning?
Well, I wouldn't say completely no, but like I did say, there was heavy rainfall, which we cannot attribute to what has happened. We have poor erosions already. But like I said, it came and swept everything, unprecedented, unexpected. So there is still a problem of response to early warning. That is asking people to relocate. But in this particular area of Mokwa, this has never happened. So honestly, we don't even know what explanation to give to this. But definitely there is very poor erosion system, which the government is working towards seeing what it can do, especially the federal government. But I don't know. I don't want to say. I will even say that it's beyond the human understanding because it came and swept everything at once. The rainfall was there, but not to this magnitude that will have caused this havoc.
Okay. Now, President Tinubu has also ordered, the activation of the National Emergency Response Center. Is it possible for you to walk us through how this activation changes the scope and scale of the response?
Yeah, of course. It is activated. The early warning system will work faster and more effective because the indicators will be very clear to show what is coming, what is going to happen, and then the preparedness for it will be more. So if it is reactivated, it will go a long way, I'm sure, in alleviating this kind of, even preventing this kind of occurrences by the grace of God.
All right, ma'am. With more than 3,000 displaced people and over 250 homes destroyed, what is the long-term recovery plan in terms of resettlement, rebuilding, and also restoring livelihoods of these citizens, considering that Niger State is actually flood-prone, even though we didn't predict the magnitude of rain that, that befell it a few days ago?
Well, like we all know that the humanitarian service is not a one-man show. It's not just for the government. It's for everybody's business. But as it were now, we have a lot of philanthropists, some of them, and some organizations, even UNICEF today, visit there, and we are expecting more to come. And what we are looking to provide a temporary tents and accommodation, because where they are staying probably is just presently is just a primary or is it a secondary school, which cannot accommodate and does not even have the facilities to accommodate the displaced persons at the moment. So there is plan to get temporary tents to give them a temporary shelter before we organize and see how we can get a permanent solution.
Okay. Well, I think with that, we'd actually have to wrap up this interview. But thank you so much, ma'am, Barrister Mairo Mohammed Mann, for joining us, Permanent Secretary, Niger State Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management, for joining us and speaking on this.
Thank you very much.